Hello, I'm Roots Bikes. This is my entry for the 2025 Cheap Bike Build-Off.
Oh yeah. Woo. Ooh.
This is a Specialized Rockhopper, probably 1996. I picked it up from the Nantucket Take It or Leave It, where I've picked up a lot of bikes over the years. Usually they have a lot of problems. Most common is a busted bottom bracket. Rust is always present on these bicycles that I find. I usually just use them for parts, but this one I want to try to turn into a rideable bike.
Oh, good. Oh, sweet.
Everything on this bike seems to be original, except one of these tires is a Kenda and one of them is a Maxxis, so I think the front tire, which is a Kenda, was replaced at some point. The hubs and rims are original. The chain actually had some life left.
Oh yeah, baby. Okay.
The rear derailleur wasn't working when I test drove the bike. It probably just needs to be serviced and some new cables.
Yeah, this is it.
I was really worried about the bottom bracket and the cranks coming off, but they seem to come off just fine.
Awesome. Oh yeah. Woo.
Is that recalled? The front derailleur was actually shifting, but as you can see, it's pretty rusty. Don't think I'll be using it.
Ooh. Nice. Those brakes.
These brake pads definitely need to be replaced.
Oh shoot.
This kickstand gave me so much problems.
Those.
I'm definitely not going to reuse these grips. I'm going to get rid of these grip shifters altogether.
Oh my god, this is so gummy. Chew it.
I'm thinking of using a swept-back handlebar, a little bit more comfortable upright position, which is how I like to ride.
Ooh. There's that. Maybe too tight. Okay. Let's just try to get that. That's pretty good.
The bolts on this rear rack were rusted shut.
What is that? Chickadee and a downy woodpecker? Definitely a downy and definitely a chickadee.
I tried a couple of methods to try to get these out. I ended up rounding some of the bolts. The valve stems on both tires were slanted really badly. And here's a mock-up using a bit of purple flare. I visited Bikes Not Bombs in Jamaica Plain after this to look at parts, get some prices. I ended up buying a whole new set and going in a new direction. Here's some of the haul. You have these walled handlebars, some cranks, some cogs, some spacers, bottom bracket. These MKS BMX pedals were my favorite find for $5 in the parts bin. They're missing their dust caps. These grips I took off of an old Trek. I picked up these Sugino cranks in the Cape on my way back to Nantucket. I'm just going to use the outer ring and a single ring setup, but they have these cool inner oval rings.
That's just snapped clean off.
I thought this was the end of my build because the bottom bracket snapped off.
Oh yeah.
But I managed to get it off with some pliers. You can see in the back I have some parts soaking in white vinegar.
Woo!
Most of this crust and rust
Crusting.
is from the tubes after I sprayed some WD-40 down to let it soak overnight.
But
Seemed to do the trick. The bottom bracket cleaned up real nicely.
oh yeah.
This bottom bracket is practically brand new. You can see it still has Loctite on it.
Okay.
I did do a test ride on this. Here I am taking off the chain tensioner because I want to try to find a magic ratio. But I broke the chain here.
Oh, that just broke that link. That is the weakest link. So let's just check if it works first. Actually, and that works.
You can see it's floating a little bit. So it's not actually good, but it's good enough. Now I'm going to replace the stem with this KHS stem that I took off of an old KHS bike. It's got a removable front plate and it's a little shinier, which will match better with the walled handlebars that I'm putting on this. That removable plate will also let me swap out bars later if I want to more easily. I ran a short cable for the front canty just so I could do the test drive earlier. You'll see later on in the video that it's the same one, and I think it's a little too short. I should probably replace that cable at some point. Here I'm taking some ice and using it to wet the handlebars so I can slide the grips on. Here's what the bike looks like. I just need to run a cable to the rear, brake. But now I'm back in Cambridge.
It's going to be a top. Okay, so that leaves this spring here. You can see both of them on the bottom inside. So that's how you know where your spring goes.
Thanks to Gary's Projects for this excellent video on reassembling canty brakes. It demystified a lot of the reassembly. Here's the Sagino cranks all nice and cleaned up. And that outer chain ring that I'm putting on, it's 44 tooth. Here's the MKS BMX pedals and their missing dust caps. I chased these threads, that's why the bolts are going in so smoothly. And there's 44 tooth in the front, 16 tooth in the back, and I hit the magic ratio with that. Here's the build. It's a lot of fun to ride. I took it to the grocery store and to get some lunch. And here's the breakdown of the parts that I purchased and those that I got from my bin with estimates based on bikes not bombs. $90 total in parts. That leaves me about $60 to put on the price for the free bike. I had a lot of fun doing this build. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. One last touch, because I don't want this to get rusty again.
Thanks for riding along.